The European Parliament apparently trying to send a message to our president over his new immigration policies. It just voted to temporarily end visa-free travel for Americans who visit Europe. So, Steve, whose economy suffers, ours or theirs?
Oh, we may take a little hit, David, but theirs is going to suffer the most. We don't allow visa-free travel for 5 countries out of the 28 in Europe. That's a ridiculous response in their part. It's perfectly legitimate for us to know what country you're coming from, if you have proper programs there to make sure bad guys aren't passing through to us. So I think they're going to back off because they need that tourism from the U.S.
John, won't this backfire on them?
Of course it does. It's like anything else. When you block the inflow of people into the U.S., they're eventually going to retaliate. I think it hurts us both, and I don't think it makes us safer for either side.
Rich, 27.4 million Americans visited Europe. That's last year. That's an increase of 8%, partly because the euro has gone down in value, so it's a lot cheaper for Americans to go there.
Yeah, and you have an improving American economy. Look, Western Europe has become kind of a Disneyland for adults, and Americans like to travel there and see the way life once was, and Europe would be shooting itself in the foot if they tried to stop that or halt it.
On the other hand, Bruce, it won't go completely without cost for us because there are a lot of people that trade with you. I mean, this could affect commerce as well on our side, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This whole thing, this travel ban, it wasn't thought through, and you're going to get more of this unless they stop and lessen until they stop making these decisions in a vacuum. It's bad. We don't want this.
But
with
Sabrina,
our allies.
do we give in to? I mean, this is a kind of blackmail, isn't it?
Oh, well, not exactly blackmail. I mean, I think the EU is going to back down as well. But I do think that we have to kind of keep in mind that every action that we have, has an equal and opposite reaction, and we have to sort of keep that in mind. And this requires some diplomacy. At the same time, I think everyone needs to calm down a little bit. Every country has the right to determine who comes in and out of their country, and we don't all have the same values or the same views on this, and that's okay. We in America have a different set of views than they do in Japan or in Germany, and that's just the way it is.
But EMAC, what about the money issue here?
Yeah, well, because I'm a radical moderate, I say it's blackmail, and I agree with Sabrina. No, there is a money issue. I mean, come on, the European Union it's like watching crabgrass grow with how it's growing. I mean, why would they alienate the U.S. and the tourists here?
Steve,
I don't get it.
That's absolutely true. The European economy is stagnant right now. Of all times for them to do this, they're really shooting themselves in the foot.
They've been doing it for 40 years since they put in a value-added tax, bloated government, raised other kinds of taxes, regulations and the like, where they grow at half the rate of the U.S., even in this punk environment. Yeah, so this is just part and parcel of their own self-destruction.
John, we're becoming more free market, at least in our taxing businesses and so forth. Don't you think the same thing's going to happen over there eventually?
Oh, I certainly hope so. I just don't think what we're doing here indicates free market when we're trying to block the free flow of people. Okay. You wouldn't do it with goods, don't do it with people.
John Tamney's got the last word. Thank you. Coming up, the Dow hitting another record this week, topping 21,000 for the first time ever. And our informers have the picks they say will go even higher.